Well, time for Newsbeat here on Metro TV. We're coming to you live from the Akriabua studio at Northridge. I am Annie Fompo. Follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana. Instagram and Twitter is Metro TV GH. Now let's take a look at the headlines. Communities along ongoing Afenya Railway Bridge project lament flooding of the homes due to the diversion of the drains by the contractors. They are calling on authorities to act to avert any calamity. Science and Technology Kwame Nkrumah Adblaze says that more students in the school who were deferred quickly settle their fees owed and will get updates and engage the National Union of Ghanaian Students on measures to assist students. Now, internal woes of Convention People's Party CPP deepen as some executive members call for rerun for the chairperson position, saying Akosua Sapon Kumankuma made only 43% of the votes instead of 50% plus on votes required. The news now in detail. Now, communities along the ongoing Afenya Railway Bridge project are lamenting over flooding of their homes due to the diversion of drains into their residence by the contractors. They are calling on authorities involved to act to avert their calamity.
Communities such as Afenya, Shire Hills, Railway Estate and Philip Koppe, all within the enclave of the ongoing railway bridge project, are now at the mercy of the slightest rainfall. Since the start of the rain season, most homes are frequently flooded anytime there is a downpour. According to residents, this phenomenon of flooding is new to them. They say their current condition can only be blamed on the activities of the ongoing railway construction by the Ancons Infrastructure Limited, contractors working on the railway bridge project. The residents say they are sometimes forced to stay at home and skip work due to the threat posed to their lives by the flood, which sometimes submerge their only access road. Some of them spoke to Metro News.
We've called them and called them. We've been to there several times, but they don't care. It's as if they don't care about what is happening. Whilst you said you are doing this thing to benefit us, should we die before we enjoy it? No. I don't understand why they are letting us going through this pain and this suffering. So we plead with them. They should come and do something about this issue. Otherwise, we will have given them only 2 weeks. Otherwise, we will close the bridge down. We will block the whole bridge. Because what they are doing to us, we are going through so many things. Our kids cannot go to school. They cannot go anywhere. Please, they should come and do something about this thing.
The fact is, they have opened 2 major drains into the community. Waters that run all the way from Shire Hills, Doyumu. They run along the railway, and they have 2 bridges that discharge. Their drains discharge the water directly into our homes. We spend money, we contributed money to construct the road by ourselves. Anytime the rain falls and the flood comes, it sweeps away the road, and our roads are terrible. Children cannot go to school.
Other residents at the railway estate who could not hide their frustrations despite several petitions to the construction company and even the road minister say they might be forced to take the law into their hands if the problem persists.
Our children cannot go to school. Look at our house. Look at all the people in the water now. It's a big problem here. If nothing is done about it, we have only one way to block the waterway.
This water all used to come to my house here. Even the neighbor there, he did a fence wall, it broke the fence wall down. So we don't have anything that we have to do. We are pleading on behalf of the government to come and seek and then hear our grievances, find a lasting solution to it.
The situation has also compelled several developers to abandon their building project, while some residents have packed out. When contacted, the Human Relations Manager at ANCOM, Williams Atipo, blamed some of the residents, saying they are on the waterway, hence their current predicament.
Well, now let's move from developmental challenges to educational challenges. A total of 538 students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology who were affected by the automated fee-paying system of the school have, as of this morning, April 22, 2022, received a message of reinstatement by the school authority following the payment of fees. About 2,800 students with the support of the SRC and school bursary. Now, addressing a joint press conference at the KNUST by the SRC NUKS Students' Parliament on Friday, April 22, 2022, Speaker upon Speaker reiterated their calls for management of the school to soften its stance on the 70% threshold, since most of the 6,000 affected students, per the data available to the SRC, are genuine, steady, needy students who are unable to pay their fees. So they, however, condemn the attitude of some students who deliberately use their fees for betting and other business ventures on campus. Let's go to the Zoom link and speak with Basit, Metro TV's correspondent in the Ashanti region. Basit, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you. So have you been to campus this morning, and what can you tell us? Basit, if you can unmute your mic, I cannot, you're not audible at all.
Sorry for that.
Okay,
yes,
great.
I was on campus this morning, Annie, and I can tell you, as at the time I was at campus, about 530 students have been reinstated.
Right.
And right now, as I'm speaking with you, the number has increased. Half of the number, that's about 3,000, over 3,000 students have been reinstated following their ability to pay. I think the SRC has done a whole lot for these students, and together with the school bursary, they've been able to pay all the amount involved for about 3,000 students. And as I speak with you,
wow,
most of them have been reinstated. And earlier on this morning, as of this morning, it was about 530, but as I'm speaking with you, over 3,000 students have been able to pay all their fees, and they have been reinstated.
So you're saying, confirm this, SRC paid a number of 3,000 out of the 6,000, right?
Not SRC alone. The school bursary paid about 1,300 or so, and SRC also were able to pay to that amount, so that in all it's about 3,300 students that have been paid.
Okay, and how much?
Initially the SRC set aside about 50,000 to support these needy students.
Right.
But due to the number involved,
right,
they have increased that amount to 153,000 Ghana cedis as a support to these needy students.
Okay, okay. So how about those, you said, okay, well, you said that some of them are truly indeed, according to SRC, indeed needy students. How many of them out of these 6,000, if you got a number?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Annie, I can't give the figure right offhand right now as I'm speaking with you, but there are over 2,000 students that genuinely SRC confirmed that per the data available to them are needy students. Others also apply for other private scholarships, and most of them were not able to get those scholarships, and as a result, it make them vulnerable in school or not able to cater for the fees. So, and according to the SRC, some students who apply for the bursaries or the other scholarships that they've not received, they were also affected. They were part of this. That's appealing to the school authorities to more often soften their stand to ensure that those who have the scholarship should have some kind of rebate, so that, because definitely they know the money would drop into the account, so that it will not affect them in the near future.
You know, yesterday we spoke with some of the students who indeed confirmed that they used their fees for other things as put or as captured by some of the students. What's going to happen to those?
Yes, indeed, there are people like that, but not all the 6,000 who were deferred. To be honest, were those who used their money for betting and other. So according to the SRC, that incident alone is an indictment to the school and the SRC per se. So they are appealing to such students to desist from that act, even though most of them will benefit from this bursary. They will benefit from it, and the student loan has also come in to also support these students. If any student who wants loan to pay his fees can come over and apply, so that the person will be supported too.
Right, Bassey, thank you for the updates there. Keep following up and feed us some more. At least by the next bulletin, we'll know what's happening to the rest of them. So at least the update is that we have about 3,000 students who have benefited from what finance has been raised by both bursary and the SRC of KNUST to, save the situation of, some 6,000 students. Now, we're joined by the newly sworn-in president of the Ghana and the National Union of Graduate Students, Dennis Appiah Labi Ampofo, to brief us on the press conference held earlier today with the Students' Representative Council of KNUST on the way forward to assist the need of the financial assistance. Ms. Ampofo, thank you for your time. So, why did you think it was necessary for NUST to step in now?
Thank you very much. I am grateful I can join you on this very important matter. For me and the National Union of Ghana Students, 6,000 students is a huge number, and it's a big blow if we allow such students to go home on the basis of financial constraint. Our focus is that education must become a right and not a privilege. So this is something that calls for critical and urgent attention. If about 10% of the entire student population, 8 to 10%, are affected by financial matters like this, then it is important that the National Union of Ghana Students comes in and make a case for them, especially on the grounds that some students are purported to have used their monies for some other ventures, which we believe is an erroneous generalization. It's an erroneous generalization because if you have 6,000 students and a few ones, twos, and threes have misappropriated their funds, you can't necessarily say that that is enough grounds not to extend helping hand to the majority of 6,000 students in this regards. So for us as a union.
But Dennis, I mean, if education must be, not for the needy, we have always had that situation, but for the intervention of Nana Addo, who introduced free SHS, senior secondary school now is a privilege for anybody who doesn't have money to be able to attend. Tertiary has not been so. It has always been for those who can afford. If you can't pay school fees and you can't be in school, that has been the situation. It's not a strange happening, is it?
So the point is that, have you ever heard in time that 6,000 students are going to defer en bloc? It has never happened. I have not heard of anything of that sort. It tells you that there is a peculiar issue at stake. The global challenges happening all around the world is not only peculiar to the students of KNUST. It tells you that there is an issue. Secondly, we are saying that if there is an issue and we all admit that there is an issue, then it means that every person or everyone connected to this issue must come in as a matter of urgency. One, we are calling on the student loan office that the student loan office may have to expedite decisions and actions to support students who are student loan beneficiaries and find themselves as part of this situation. Two, we are calling on the management of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology that these are special times. These are 6,000 students we are talking about. If it is possible, which it should be possible, the 70% threshold should be reduced to 50%. It must be reduced to 50%, considering the times that we find ourselves in. I have already mentioned that we take cognizance of the fact that the university operates on laws and it needs funds to operate. But these laws are made for humans. Humans are not made for the laws. So a reduction to 50% will be a huge step. Also, we are calling on well-meaning Ghanaians, like our members of parliament, like it has started, to come in and support their various constituents who find themselves as part of this situation. If members of parliament who are people we look up to can come in and say that for every constituency, we are supporting our students who are affected by this situation, what will be happening is that the 6,000 numbers will reduce to a huge, by a huge margin. And that is what we are calling for.
Dennis, your demands as a newly sworn-in president of NUGS, your demands are quite high for the members of parliament, but that will be a discussion for another time.
These are not a matter of demands which are high. The situation is a critical matter. 6,000 students are about to go home.
Are you aware? You know, it's good that you've realized that 6,000 on block is strange, but are you aware that the students are having challenges accessing loans?
That is why we said that we've called on the student loan office, that the student loan office may have to expedite actions to support some of the students who have already applied.
Have you checked on the procedures? Now the changes in the policy of the no guarantor policy that's been introduced by the government. Have you checked on its updates?
We appreciate that the no guarantor policy has come, and that is something that we commend government on. But that will take effect in the next batch of applications. So the current batch of applications in the system will still have to be expedited by the student loan office. We have assurances from the student loan secretariat that in the coming weeks, they are going to do something about the situation. We will continue to call on every single individual who is a stakeholder that we all must do something about this situation. It is not a matter of 10 or 20 students, 6,000 students. The SRC has done its bit to use its funds to support some of the students in the time being. But we still have a lot of backlog, and we are calling on all well-meaning Ghanaians to come in to support students.
Right. President of National Union of Graduate Students, Dennis Appiah Labiampo, thank you for speaking with News Beats Now. And that's the update coming in from KNUST. We'll follow up and bring you some more stories there. Now, Member of Parliament for North Tongue constituency, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, says the decision by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to defer 6,000 students due to the not payment of fees is harsh. He asked management to rescind its decision.
We need to also pay attention to how we help address these challenges that the students are facing. Don't underestimate what betting can do. Even the ability to have the right frame of mind to study. Its impact on their health. So it is a matter that must concern the university management, the student organizations, the SRC, NUGS, therapy, counseling. We don't just leave it and say, oh, they become addicted to betting or to alcohol and they're diverting their fees. So the only solution is to defer their programs and we don't care about them. No. Education must be holistic. We are not only interested in their grades, but their entire well-being, their morals, their health. It's all part of the package. And mind you, Doc, in this country, already, if you look at our statistics, we are not doing well at all. If you look at our gross enrollment ratio, the number of students who end up at the university level, those who start P1, that cohort, is described as elitist in Ghana. We are doing below 20%. We are below the global average.
All right, you're still watching News Beat on Metro TV. It's time for us to take a breather. When we come back, we still have some more stories coming up. Welcome back to Newsbeat with me, Annie Efuampofo. Now let's do some more stories, and we're going to the quarters of the CPP, and the Central Committee of the Conventions People's Party has directed the chairperson for the party, Akosua Frimpong Sapong Kumankuma, to step aside. According to the committee, the current chairperson gained 43% of the total votes cast in their chair elections of August 2020, which does not make her qualified for the position she occupies.
Statement copied Metro TV. The Central Committee has resolved to conduct a runoff election between Akosua Frimpong Sapong Kumankuma and the first runner-up, Comrade Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim. The Central Committee of the party has resolved that the chairmanship elections of 22nd of August 2020 did not produce a validly elected chairperson and leader for the party, as the leading candidate received only 43% of the total votes cast, not enough votes to qualify her as the chairperson and leader of the party.
As long as we have a chair and leader here, you can only take instructions. That it means that I would tell you to call a CC and you call a CC. You do not go by yourself to go call a CC. You don't call other group and say that they are executives and therefore you can overturn the decision of the constitution for you to. You don't. The 8 executives who are part of me that were sworn in by the same council of elders who apparently don't want to listen to anymore. Every member who was there today was sworn in by me. If you challenge my position, you are challenging the entire CC.
The Central Committee also resolved a rerun should be conducted soon. In anticipation of that, a rerun Congress Committee has been set up under the chairmanship of Comrade Kwame Jantwa, chairman of the Political Affairs Committee.
All right, you're welcome back. We'll still stay a little longer with the CPP, and we've been joined by the General Secretary of the Conventions People's Party, Nanaya Chempem Jantwa, to talk to us more about what is happening within the party. Nanaya, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you. How is CPP doing?
CPP is doing fine.
When you say fine, what do you mean it's fine?
Oh, I mean, CPP is going through issues, but these are issues that come up with all political parties. It comes up with families, associations, groups, and we will go over it. The reason why we are going through all this turmoil is the fact that at the elections that we held in 2020, our chairmanship position, nobody got 50 or more of the valid vote cast. We went through a Congress that was not congregated. You know, normally Congresses are congregated, but because of COVID and the exigencies of the time, we didn't have that Congress. So when the results came, everybody had scattered. Because of COVID, people were not waiting around. You cast your vote and you leave. Then later on, we realized that the chairmanship position, nobody got 50% or more of the valid vote cast. And it says here, this is the CPP constitution. It says categorically in 92E that a candidate for election to the office of national chairperson and leader shall be deemed, I'm not a lawyer, but I know shall is such a strong mandatory word, shall be deemed to have been duly elected if more than 50% of the members of Congress present and voted in his favor. He goes on to say, where at the election of the national chairperson and leader, there are more than 2 candidates and no candidate obtained the votes specified in clause E of this article, another election shall be held between the 2 candidates who obtain the highest number of votes to select the winner. We erred by not adhering to this, because
the whole party erred.
Yes, the person who did the election came up and said that the IOC, the committee that ran the election, erred. So we think that we should go for a rerun. We've been bombarded with petitions after petitions. We are in court. The bottom line of this issue, all the confusion is this 50% or more.
And why is Sapong Kumankuma holding herself up as chairperson?
She didn't. I told you that when we finished, we didn't. Because once you are in a congregation, figures are tabulated, and when they are tabulated, immediately it is shown that we didn't get it. So let's immediately come back and do another one. But this one, everybody was scattered.
So we're told that she has started giving directives to members in the political party, which is what has now triggered some of you, the executives, to now prove to her that you are not the chairman.
No, she has never been the chairman. There has been a lot of... This one is clear. My dear, you see, the Constitution is a law. And every institution has laws that makes it run. Even in the jungle, there are rules of engagement. And once you have the rules of engagement, you need to go by the rules of engagement. When you go to school and you err, and you are even referred, you are asked to do the exam again. It is done everywhere. This constitution has no statute of limitation. It doesn't tell us when we should do the rerun or not. And look at the exigence that we were in COVID, we're not supposed to congregate and all that. So now the time has come for us to be able to congregate. We didn't want to do a discongregated Congress again, so that if this anomaly happens, we will not see it. But once we do a congregated Congress, it is clear. Now, the Central Committee of the party met yesterday. I heard somebody saying it is illegal. What is illegal? Because the Central Committee is constituted of a category of people. At the top of the Central Committee is the leadership. All 8 of us who were legitimately elected were there. The second category are the chairmen of committees who do the policy and strategy for the party. They were there. The next one, 10, we have 16 regions. 10 regions were there. The next category are people who are representative of regions who live in Accra. They were there. What is illegal about it?
So why are they questioning your position? Are you the General Secretary
of the party? I am the General Secretary of the party.
And why are they questioning your capacity?
Who is questioning my capacity?
I mean, members of the party, Kuma herself, as a member of CPP, are all questioning your ability or your ability to call for a rerun, that you cannot
I haven't called for a rerun. I am saying there was a Central Committee, the highest administrative body. I am the General Secretary. I am the carrier of good and bad news.
Right.
Do you get it?
I agree.
Somebody is sacked in the party, I sign it. A communique come out, I sign it. I am the scribe of the party. The fact that I have signed something doesn't mean that I have done it. The constitution of the CPP also allows anybody within the leadership, within the party, who thinks that we have to have a central committee, they can call a central committee. You get? And this was an emergency central committee because the central committee was worried about all the wranglings. You can hear, we are in court, about 3-4 cases. The bottom line of all these cases is 50+1. People have been sent to police station for talking about 50+1. People have been interdicted, bottom line, for talking about 50+1. So the point is that yesterday, unanimously, everybody who came into that meeting raised up their hand, and we were counted when they were asked whether we should have a rerun. And also the person who is supposed to be the next in line. Normally, you see, when the next in line says that, okay, I'm not interested, in that case, you can't go ahead. But she said that she is interested. She's going for a rerun.
How did she get sworn in without getting what the Constitution requires?
That is what I'm telling you. At that time, the exigencies of the time. It came up after the swearing in.
The exigencies of the time.
COVID
allowed the party to swear her in.
I'm saying that COVID. So we didn't even. It's like after the elections, it was so difficult for us to even sit and know exactly what went on.
So you decided to swear her in.
Because I think we didn't swear her in. The IOC did. And now the IOC has come up to say that we don't think that it is right. The fact that we swore her in does not mean that it is right. You can err, please.
So the IOC has realized that they have committed.
Yes, and they said we should go for a rerun. This is the constitution of the CPP. It is the constitution. If you do something wrong, can't you correct yourself? You can correct yourself. Does it mean that it is cast in stone?
Yes, but the IOC
this is what is cast in stone.
The IOC, how long do you have to be a chairperson for when you're sworn in?
You know,
that's when you
there has been petitions over petitions. My dear, it's not everything that you can talk about. It's not there are internal matters. If you're a mature person, you don't get up and say everything. There have been petitions upon petitions. Now, as we stand, even if, as I'm standing here, I don't know when I leave here, I'll be asked to go to a police station to report because I have spoken about this matter. Because somebody will think that I haven't spoken about them in a favorable manner. People, our women's organizer and youth organizer are in police station right now because they went to talk about the same matter. We have been cited for so many things in court. We should be put in prison because bottom line, the same matter. My dear, it is time for us And the CC agreed yesterday that we should go for it, because even if we don't go for a rerun, if you are talking about fairness, if you are talking about justice, then it means that we should be fair. So we should be fair to the person who came second.
There are 3 petitions. They are all
more than 3 petitions.
How many are they?
About 6 or 7.
All on the chairmanship.
Yes.
Is there anyone that's challenging your general secretary?
Why should anybody challenge my general?
But you've heard that they are challenging.
Nobody. Who is challenging my position? Where is it coming from?
Nobody's challenging.
I got over 80%. So why should anybody challenge my position?
So why would the party decide to swear in an individual?
My dear, I said you don't have, we aired.
I'm hold on.
Yes.
I'm saying that. You don't even have to tell me why you did that.
Yes.
But to the person who benefited from the party's mistake, when you are trying to turn it around, you're being unfair to the person.
It is not true. This is the Constitution.
The Constitution was in existence
Yes,
before.
and if an individual errs, or a group of people err in a situation, you correct it. It is not about me. It is not about you. It's not about the human being. It's about the party. Okay, granted, let's assume that the next election, somebody gets the same, we let it pass. Somebody gets 42%.
But you will carry this responsibility as a general secretary.
Let me finish. Somebody gets 42%. And we say that, we have to do a rerun. And the person refers us that it happened before, he didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Then it means we are even destroying
the precedents.
Yes. And it had happened before. And we went through an election situation. The fact that time has passed, because I'm saying that there is no time limitation. That is the statute of limitation. If there is a statute of limitation in here, which tells you that by a certain time, if you are not able to do it, it is gone. Do you understand?
Right.
So that one we can't do anything.
Which period is that?
There is no statute of limitation.
No
Please listen to me.
Right.
There is no statute of limitation. There is no clause which says that if by tomorrow you don't do this rerun, you don't have the right to do it. Yes, it is open. It's got nothing to. This thing has been pending.
How will Ghanaians be convinced that CPP can manage the country if you're committing such blunders?
We are not
at the party level.
We are not committing blunders. That is why we are correcting ourselves. Are you saying that governments don't make mistakes and they correct themselves? So
some mistakes are unpardonable. This is the Constitution.
It is not unpardonable. That is why if we made it go without correcting it, then it's unpardonable. Then you can say that when we come to power, we will not even uphold the Constitution of Ghana. But the reason why we are upholding this Constitution is because we want to come to power and tell Ghanaians that no matter what, irrespective of who is involved, this is not personal. This is about the Constitution.
So what will the party do going forward?
In what sense?
In terms of making sure that
we are put in place.
We
are put in place. Yesterday, a Congress committee was put in place. I told you the chairman is Senior Comrade Kwame Jantwa.
Right.
Other members will be added on. They will be sworn in and they will do their work. End of July, we are going for a rerun.
Right.
You see, the opportunity
End of July.
The opportunity for a rerun doesn't mean that we are being unfair. You can win, and when you win. And you come in your capacity with more than 50% of the valid voters, you are the chairman. But as it stands now, we have 2 people hanging. There are other people in there who also didn't get.
So as it stands now, CPP doesn't have a chairman?
No. So one of the vices will act. So we go for. That's why we are doing the Congress early.
Right.
My dear, because we will get petitions after petitions. Now, if we stop here, then we say that, okay, Nana Frimpomaa Sarpong Nkrumah, you can stay. We don't have anything against her. You can go ahead and stay. Even though there are things she does, like taking people to police station because they spoke about her, like intimidating people, you can't do this, you can do that, and all that. Her people insulting. I, for one of her assistants told me that she'll come and beat me and drag me in my office.
Did you take her on to the police station?
I didn't.
That's a threat?
It's a threat, yes. She said, yes, so
abuse.
for some time I was even afraid to go to the party headquarters.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that is how bad you'll be insulted. I've been insulted variously. I take it as it is politics. We are a family. Let's all come together, whatever the differences are. But she will take you to the police. 2 of my people are in police station right now.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. There seem to be more issues within the CPP. We have to find some more time and get into it, but this is where time will allow us
Yeah.
on that. Nana Yajantwa is the General Secretary for the CPP, and that's where we are as far as the party is concerned. And the party is going by end of July, we'll organize a rerun for the chairmanship position. Now, the Attorney General, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, who doubles as the Minister for Justice, has proposed for a live telecast of some court hearings of the national interest aside of election petition. Now, he made this proposal at the opening of the 2022 bench bar and faculty conference, where he was called for the Supreme Court to reduce the number of cases it hears.
Which saw a host of justices and other learned colleagues of the bar. The Attorney General, who doubles as the Minister of Justice, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, said there is a need to make live some important court hearings on national televisions, which is of public interest, and urged the Supreme Court to reduce its caseload by prioritizing which case is important to them.
I dare say that the time has come for the Supreme Court to reduce its caseload by prioritizing the kinds of cases it actually has.
Touching on how best the judiciary can be defended to uphold its sovereignty, the minister called for all lawyers to ensure they defend the third arm regardless of their partisan affiliations.
Recent development disclosed a systematic attempt by certain lawyers, often belonging to a side of the political divide, to deploy social media to denigrate the administration of justice through poisoned and caustic attacks on judgment to the court, albeit unjustified. This is often witnessed in commentary on so-called political cases, where some lawyers perceive the outcome to have a far-reaching consequence for the objectives of political parties they sympathize with. Faced with adverse rulings, some lawyers go to the rather farcical extent of actually advocating for the abolition or scrapping of our court. The most deplorable thing about such endeavor is that many a time their vicious comments are plainly wrong. Yet, the propagators of these wrong and dangerous ideas do not relent in their efforts to push them down the throats of the unsuspecting public. Such disreputable practice on the part of some lawyers further becomes an inducement to persons who are not members of the legal profession to launch even more savage and illogical attacks on the judiciary. This conduct is clearly despicable, as it has the ultimate tendency to destroy the integrity of institutions of justice delivery in Ghana.
The two-day conference, which ends on Friday, April 22, 2022, forms part of the activities of the Ghana Bar Association to revive its activities for a robust front. This year's conference was on the theme, the survival of the legal profession in a changing world.
You're still watching News Speed here on Metro TV. Let's go for a breather. Well, it's still Newsbeat, and it's time for us to bring you business. Winston Taki is here. You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Annie. It's time to bring you business right after this. And now to a first business story. The Securities and Exchange Commission says it is struggling to control fraudulent investment schemes because most of them are on social media and are faceless. Speaking at a public lecture in Accra, the head of policy and research, Dr. Emmanuel Ashon, says the exchange is now compelled to engage in public education to protect people's investment.
Because for the financial market to thrive, we need confidence and trust. And these fraudulent investment schemes, what they do is that they succeed in bringing mistrust onto the financial market so that individuals who will have genuinely invested, when they experience some of these fraudulent investment schemes, they tend to shy away and move away from the financial market. So we believe that this public awareness and public education program has enlightened attendees, and they will also go out to teach and also to educate other family members and relations about the dangers of fraudulent investment schemes and how best one can avoid and also identify fraudulent investment schemes. Always check and double check the type of investment you want to do and who the operators of these investments are. Are they licensed by the regulators? Where do they operate from? Check and convince yourself before you commit your funds. If the rate promised are too good to be true and too high, you are advised to think twice before you commit your funds. Basic, use the T-bill rate as a benchmark to compare promised return. And if the promised return are too high than the T-bill rate, it is most possible it is a fraudulent investment scheme, and you are hence advised to move away from.
Ghana is a signatory to the Paris Agreement on renewable energy, where countries pledge to reduce carbon dioxide and other greenhouse emissions, as well as to adapt to the impact of climate change. According to the Deputy Energy Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, this will be a difficult task as fossil fuel still plays a critical role in building an industrialized economy.
And we are being asked to move from oil and gas to renewable energy in just 35 years. That is going to be very difficult. But even those who are calling upon us to jettison our natural resources, they continue to develop dirty sources of energy for their economies. As I speak to you, the UK government has just approved a new coal plant in Cumbria. As I speak to you, the Balkan nations are going back to coal. And so why should we be asked to jettison our oil and gas and then go to what is called renewable energy? I am a lover of renewable energy, but truth be told, the kind of intensity, energy intensity you need to support industrial development still rests with fossil. And so to those who think that we will not do renewable, we want to do renewable. We want to transition at our own pace. And so we will continue to produce oil and gas to support the development efforts of our country while transitioning gradually to about 10% of our energy mix committed to renewables by 2030.
That'll be all for business here on Newsbeat. My name is Winston Taki. Phil John Quarter is standing by with sports. Phil?
Thank you very much, Winston. Up next, we'll bring you the latest in sports. Let's go straight to the Ghana Premier League now and find out who Kotoko and Accra has to be playing over the weekend. It will start tomorrow at the Accra Sports Stadium. Accra Lions to take on the Phobias. That should be a cracker. Then the Great Olympics will welcome Ash Gold on Sunday. Umediama in Takwa against Wafa in that rain. Kotoko will be at the Babaya Sports Stadium against Legon Cities. And Real Tamale United will travel all the way to Elmina in the Central Region to play against Elmina Sharks. That's your sports. My name is Phil John Quarter. Guest who's on Entertainment Desk, ready to deliver. And I are looking very sweet.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Up next is Entertainment News. My name is Sanaya Tanoabuachi. Now, multiple award-winning Ghanaian rapper Kwesi Arthur has finally released his much-anticipated studio album, Son of Jacob. Prior to the release today, Kwesi Arthur held a private album listening session yesterday. My colleague Desmond Okwekudanso was there and comes through with this report.
The private album listening session was held here in Accra and saw fans of Kwesi Arthur, fellow musicians, the media, and other stakeholders get an exclusive listen to the songs on the new album before its release. There has been a long wait of about 3 years for this new album since the Bajo crooner announced his intent to put together this project. Speaking to Metro News, Kwesi Arthur gave an insight on what he wants to achieve with this project.
Well, just touch the fans again, keep inspiring more people. Keep inspiring more people, but I just hope people get to experience like new things with the music. And make memories through it. Yeah, and hope they go touch people differently. Shouts to MOG. Yeah. MOG produced like most of the songs on the album. Yeah, so shouts to MOG. We appreciate his contribution.
Some industry players and music lovers shared their thoughts on the album with Metro News.
Every song, this song I love. There was an Amapiano song that I love, so tomorrow I'm gonna get the whole track list. But I feel like I told him that I'm so proud that he took his time.
I'm freaking happy. We've been waiting for so long. Like, I'm so happy that it's here and everyone gets to see the amazing work that Kwesi has done.
I think the songs were carefully selected, masterpieces. I like the arrangement and everything. Even my best song is actually, it's not even the one I produced. It's the song with Adekunle Gold.
And that's all on Into. My name is Anayata Nobwache. Annie, over to you.
Well, that's all we have for you this afternoon. Join us on Good Afternoon Ghana for a discussion on what students do on campus. Pay school fees or do businesses. We'll see you there.